All right, what is going on, guys? This weekend is UFC Fight Night Vegas 99. Michel Pereira versus Anthony Hernandez. Or Anthony Hernandez versus Michel Pereira. I'm going to go over my full card predictions. Now, I'm not going to lie. The prelims on this card are garbage. It's an Apex card, so it's kind of garbage, in itself. But the prelims are pretty bad. Starting off, open up the prelims. We have Austin Lane versus Rebellis Desbane. This is a fight where everybody's picking Rebellis Desbane, including myself. I will be picking Rebellis Desbane via first round KO. But I would not be shocked if Austin Lane is able to out-grapple him, because in his last fight, Desbane has showed that he can be out-grappled and he cannot get up from bottom. It is impossible for him to get up. I believe every time, if I remember correctly, I was there at his last fight live. Every time he got taken down, he had nothing off of his back. At all. They both have good power. Lane obviously has the grappling advantage. Desbane obviously has the stand-up advantage. And Lane has been KO'd several times in his career. And both of his fights in the UFC has been KO'd. So, I don't trust him. I guess he's had 3 fights technically, but the 2 that actually ended correctly, he was KO'd both times. So I'm going to Rebellis Desbane via first round KO. But again, don't be surprised if Austin Lane wins via decision. Moving up on the card, these next 3 fights are absolute shit. And yeah. I'm just going to blaze right through them. We have Melissa Martinez versus Alice Ardeline. Garbage. If we look here, I believe her last fight, she lost to Shauna Bannon. If this is the... Yep. Shauna Bannon is awful. So there's no way I can pick her. I'm going Melissa Martinez via decision. I don't see either one of these girls getting a finish. They're just not good. Moving up, these Apex cards, we gotta love them, right? All these wonderful women's MMA fights. Jessica Penne versus Elise Reed. Elise Reed's terrible. Jessica Pena's old. I believe she 40 or something? Here, I got Tapology loaded up here. Let's see if give the ages real quick. I believe she's old as fuck. Yeah, 40, almost damn near 42, and Elise Reed is 41. But if when I was going over, opponents and who they fought in the past, Jessica has fought way better competition, and I'm pretty sure she's coming off 2 years of not fighting. So I think it's been some crazy amount of time. Let's take a look real quick here. Her last fight was a loss. 2023. Okay, for some reason it's Tabitha Ricci. Okay. But if you look at she even has a win over Lupita Godinez. I'm not even going to pronounce their name, but a couple decent wins. But she's fought Joan and Jacek just on Andrade. Now she's losing these fights. But she still fought the better competition, by far. So that's why I'm justifying my pick for Jessica Penne. Jessica Penne. I'm going to go her via decision. Both absolute garbage cans, but I'm going with the person who's been in there with the better competition, which could bite me in the ass. Moving on. Jocelyn Edwards versus Tamaris Vidal. I believe most people are picking Jocelyn Edwards, but it's the same thing. She's old. Let's pull it up real quick. Or no, she's not. Shit, I was thinking she was old. I think she's just a shit fighter. Because if we look here, lost to Aylin Perez, Nora Canole, literally beating absolute bottoms of... Lost to Jessica Rose Clark. Now, as much as I like Jessica Rose Clark, she's a bum. She can't fight. She can... No, don't get me wrong. She's good at kickboxing. But MMA, she's awful. She's awful. She has no grappling. You're losing to her, you're bad. I know most people are picking her. Tamaris Vidal is not that much. She's not much better. But for some reason, I swear I remember her getting a KO. Was it on the Contender Series? Yeah. It wasn't on the Contender Series. It was a flying knee KO. I remember that fight. I'm going to go Tamaris Vidal. I think she'll probably If she loses, she's going to get out-grappled. But I think she has more finishing potential. So I'm going to go with Tamaris Vidal to get it done. 3rd round TKO. That's my prediction. Again, wonderful fights. Just wonderful, these 3 fights. We're getting into some better fights now. Brad Katona versus Joan Masumoto. I'm going to get, as I can continue to do this, I'm going to get better at pronouncing these damn names. I promise. So Brad Katona, kind of a veteran. I believe he's 36 years old. He's been around for a while. Masumoto, undefeated. Again, this is one of those fights where Brad Katona, he's been in and out of the UFC. Won tough twice. The first person to win the Ultimate Fighter 2 times, which I don't think that's anything to be proud of. He's like pretty well-rounded, Katona is. He's not like great anywhere, but he's pretty decent everywhere. And he's very boxing, wrestling heavy. That's like tends to be his focus. I know he's going up against the younger, undefeated prospect, but I'm going to go Brad Katona. I'm going to go Brad Katona via decision. I think Joan Masumoto is going to be durable enough to withstand Brad Katona, but I think Brad Katona is going to be able to implement the wrestling, and the wrestling and the boxing, and kind of be a very boring clinch, up against the fence, grind heavy win for Brad Katona. Moving up the card, very good featured prelim. Actually, really excited for this fight. Again, we got Matheus Nicolau versus Azu Almabayev. I think I'm pronouncing that correct. Nicolau, what is he coming off against? KO lost to Alex Perez, if I remember correctly. And then Azu Almabayev, man, I can't remember who he just. I remember he just beat. I forgot. Let's check real quick. Boop. Who did he just beat? Jose Johnson. Okay. So one thing I wanted to point out, really the best one he has is Ode Osborne. Like, CJ Vergara just runs, like, you hit him and he just runs away. Like, he just runs the other side of the octagon. How I could see this fight going, obviously Almabayev has the grappling advantage. I think Matheus Nicolau has the striking advantage, and the only thing I'm worried about is can Nicolau keep it standing, keep it on the feet. He's got a 1-inch reach advantage and a 2-inch height advantage. I'm going to go Nicolau via decision. I know he's been KO. I think he's coming off 2 back-to-back KO losses, if I remember correctly. But I don't, Almabayev doesn't have crazy one-shot KO power. I'm a little worried that Nicolau will be able to get out-grappled and held up against the fence and lose via decision. But I think his takedown defense and his ability to get off the cage will be good enough to get him a decision victory. I think, he's coming off these 2 losses. He wants to get that bad taste out of his mouth of defeat, and he's going to do what it takes to get it done this Saturday. Moving up on the card. Opening the main card. Good fight with a couple of veterans. You got Derek the Damage Elkins versus Daniel Panetta. Again, 2 veterans. I think Derek Elkins is like 40 or 41 years old. Daniel Panetta is like 39 years old. Both veterans of the sport. Been in there a long time. I'm going to be going Daniel Panetta via decision. Derek Elkins, he's been too many wars. He's taken so much. It's in his name, the damage. He's taken so many beatings. Even in fights he's won, he's getting the shit beat out of him. And eventually, you're not going to be able to take that anymore. You're not going to be able to take the damage anymore. So I'm going to be going Daniel Panetta via 3rd round TKO. I think as the fight goes on, the damage is going to be wearing on Derek Elkins, and he's just not going to be able to take it anymore. He's going to get dropped, and he's going to get TKO'd. But don't be surprised if somehow Elkins pulls it off. Moving up on the card. This one was also tricky for me to predict. Brady Highstand versus Jake Hadley. Very tricky fight for me to predict. I'm going to go Brady Highstand via decision. I think his grappling is going to be better. I think he's going to be able to out-grapple Jake Hadley. Jake Hadley's pretty well-rounded. You know, he's not completely a bum when it comes to BJJ and wrestling. But I think Highstand is just a little bit better, and he'll be able to implement his grappling, get him worried about the takedowns, and be able to clip him up on the feet. I don't think he's going to be able to finish Jake Hadley. Jake Hadley, I don't even know, has he ever been finished? I don't think he's ever been finished. If I remember correctly. Let's check real quick. I believe he's only lost via decision. Yep, he's only lost via decision. He's never been finished. So I don't think he's going to get finished. So I'll be going Brady Highstand via decision. I'm picking a lot of decisions on this card. Moving up, I'm actually very, very excited for this fight. Charles Johnson versus Sumadarji. I pronounced that one right. I believe Sumadarji, I thought he was ranked in the top 15. Maybe he's just fallen outside of the rankings now. There's no way I could pick Sumadarji. Absolutely no way. I think he's on like some crazy loss streak, if I remember correctly. Let's see. Like, when's the last time he had a win? Yeah, he's on a 2-fight losing streak. One to Timberlake, one to Matt Schnell. Got submitted in both of them. Charles Johnson, although he has been out-grappled in the past, I think he's on this good winning streak. He's hitting his right into the prime of his career, physical prime at least. I think he's going to be able to get it done. I don't think... I almost want to pick Charles Johnson via TKO. But Sumadarji, he has shown before that he's that Matt Schnell fight, he got fucking hurt bad. I'm going to go Charles Johnson via decision. I think Sumadarji will be tough enough to not get finished by Charles Johnson. But I could see a later, like a third-round finish for Johnson. But yeah, so I'm going to go Charles Johnson via decision. I think he's just more well-rounded than Sumadarji. You know, he's on this hot streak. He's more motivated than ever. And he's going to just go through Sumadarji. Moving up. The co-main event of the evening. You have Rob Font versus Kyler Phillips. Kyler Phillips has some bad losses in his career. I believe he lost to Alayev Paiva, who's no longer in the UFC. You know, that banger of a fight he had with Sean O'Malley. But in his last fight, man, he had a high output in his last fight. Constant pressure. Mixing in the takedowns. And he just it's like he didn't fade at all. It's like he had unlimited cardio. And I don't think Phillips is going to be able to finish Rob Font. Although in the past Rob Font's been prone, he just takes a lot of damage and almost gets finished, but then doesn't get finished. Like the fight with him and Marlon Vera. I remember watching that fight. I wanted Rob Font to win. And he would box Vera up for 4 minutes and 30 seconds of every freaking round. And then the last 30 to 45 seconds of every round, Vera would land some big shot and just rock Rob Font and almost finish him. And then he would recover in between rounds. I know Rob Font's old. I think he's lost 4 of his last 5 fights, something along those lines. Kyler Phillips on a hot streak. Young, up-and-coming, surging contender. I'm picking Rob Font. I don't think he's going to be able to finish Kyler Phillips, but I think he's going to get it done via decision. I'm going Rob Font via decision. I'm sure he's an underdog. I have no clue. Oh, shit. He's a big underdog. Plus 330 underdog. I just think his striking is way better than Phillips. I am worried that he's going to be out-grappled by Kyler Phillips, but I think Font will be able to he loves to do that boxing. He loves boxing. I think he's going to march forward and box Kyler Kyler Phillips up to a decision. I don't think he's going to be able to finish him. I hope Rob Font wins. I love watching Rob Font fight, so I hope he can get the W. Moving on, main event. Anthony, man, if I could talk. My talking is terrible. Anthony Hernandez versus Michel Pereira. This is going to be a fun, wild fight while it lasts. So, when this fight was announced, I was super excited. I was 100% like, I'm going to go Pereira. Pereira. I don't know what it is. Pereira. I'm just going to go Pereira. Then I started thinking about it. Hernandez has been improving a lot over his last few fights. You know, I can't remember if it was the last fight or the fight before last. He fought Roman Kopylov. Took some good shots in that fight. Showed some improvements. Was able to submit him. Roman Kopylov's a good middleweight. Just outside the top 15. But Michel Pereira, ever since he's moved up from welterweight to middleweight, essentially forced to because he missed weight, which I think middleweight is definitely the better weight class for him. I'm kind of worried about his gas tank. He's always doing these crazy kicks, flips, all this crazy stuff in his fights. I'm worried this is a 5-round fight. And I think as the fight goes longer, Hernandez will have the advantage, but can he make it into those later rounds? If it was a 3-round fight, I would 100% be like, Michel Pereira, easy, no problem. Even if he starts to fade in the 3rd round and Hernandez would win the 3rd round, well, he would win round 1 and 2 and he could get it done via decision. So that's one side of it, one aspect of it that had me a little bit worried and thinking about like who I wanted to pick for this. But for my official prediction, I'm going to be going Michel Pereira via 1st round KO. I think he's going to get Anthony Hernandez out of there in the 1st round. Smashing kicks to the body. I think it's going to be a TKO. I don't think he's going to put him out cold. I think he's going to hurt him with a body kick. He's going to kneel over, and he's just going to thump him with like a left hand or a right hand. Just, well, I guess that'd be the only 2 hands he'd have. But I think he's going to TKO Anthony Hernandez in the 1st round. And honestly, though, if he doesn't get him out of there in the first 2 rounds, he's probably going to lose via decision. I'm not sure. We can check real quick. I don't think Michel Pereira has been 5 rounds in his entire career. Let us check real quick. I don't even know if Tapology will say that. I'm just going to go by the round. 3rd round finishes. We're going pretty far back. Yeah, I don't think it's going to show us, and if it does, I don't have time to fucking dig with this. But I'm going to go Michel Pereira via 1st round TKO. I think he's going to get Anthony Hernandez out of there. And then, if he gets this finish, or even just the win in general, he definitely deserves a big step up in competition, up the rankings. We need to see him, dude. This would be such a good fight. Imagine Dricus du Plessis versus Michel Pereira. That'd be such an amazing fight. I would love to see that fight. Who do you guys think is going to win in the main event? Let me know in the comment section down below. If you guys aren't subscribed, make sure you subscribe. I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers by the end of this year. See if I can do it. I'm at 10 subscribers. Again, thank you guys. My last video I uploaded, I said I want to get 10 subscribers, and someone subscribed. So I appreciate it. Help me get to 100 by the end of the year. Leave a like on this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.